Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be tackling the mysteries surrounding the Great Pyramid of Giza. We've got this YouTube video, and it explores all sorts of theories about who built it, aliens, giants, Nikola Tesla, maybe even the Israelites. So our mission today is to sift through the speculation and see what stands out. What makes us go, wait, what? Hey, you ready to get your mind blown?
I am always ready for a good pyramid puzzle. What's so fascinating about the pyramids is that they seem to defy explanation, even in our modern age.
Exactly. I mean, they're so precisely aligned. Astronomically. It's easy to see why people jump to conclusions. Speaking of jumping to conclusions, the video starts off by mentioning Elon Musk's suggestion that aliens built the pyramid.
You laugh. But the sheer scale and precision of these structures really do lead some to search for answers beyond conventional human capabilities.
I get it. The pyramids are awe-inspiring. Okay, so aliens? Maybe not. What about the theory that giants helped construct them?
It's a fun one. It's an idea that appears in various cultures throughout history. But let's shift our focus to a more widely accepted view, that the pyramids were built by the ancient Egyptians themselves.
Ah, yes, the classic explanation. These master engineers and architects, somehow using simple tools and manpower to create these wonders of the world.
Herodotus, the Greek historian, estimated that it took 400,000 men working in shifts to build the Great Pyramid. Just imagine the scale of that workforce, even with just basic technology.
It's mind-boggling. But here's where it gets really interesting for me. If these pyramids were intended as tombs for pharaohs, why haven't any bodies ever been found inside them?
That's a question that has puzzled archaeologists for centuries. There are some unconventional theories out there, some involving water and how it might have been used in the construction process, and we'll come back to those a little bit later. But for now, let's venture into a realm where ancient history meets modern speculation, what the video calls the lost civilization theory.
Cue the dramatic music. I've always been fascinated by this idea. Think Atlantis. Advanced technology lost to time. Figures like Joe Rogan and Graham Hancock have really popularized this theory. The basic idea is that a technologically advanced civilization, long gone, possessed the knowledge and tools to create the pyramids.
What's truly perplexing is the level of engineering involved. Take the 5 chambers above the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid. They are roofed and floored with granite beams, weighing around 70 tons each, all elevated hundreds of feet above the ground, and placed with incredible precision.
70 tons.
To put that into perspective, 70 tons is about the weight of 35 large SUVs.
It makes you wonder, how do they do it? Even with today's advanced technology, you would have a tough time replicating that. It definitely adds fuel to the mystery and maybe gives some credence to the lost civilization idea.
It certainly makes you think. Now, speaking of technological marvels, let's talk about Nikola Tesla and his potential connection to the pyramids.
Oh, Tesla. Now we're talking. This guy was a visionary. X-rays, radar, the radio. He basically invented the 20th century, and he believed the Earth itself was a giant electrical generator, capable of providing wireless energy. Sound familiar?
Indeed. And there's that striking visual similarity between the Egyptian ankh and Tesla's oscillator, which some find too coincidental to ignore.
Right. And get this. There were some pretty wild artifacts found in one of the pyramids. A ceramic pot, a copper tube, and an iron rod containing liquid acid. Combined, these items could potentially create electricity.
Which brings us back to those water theories. Some researchers propose that water from the Nile could have been harnessed to control physioelectricity within the pyramids, essentially using water to manipulate natural energy fields.
Whoa, okay. Now my mind is officially blown. And there's more. There are these massive stone structures called sarcophaguses. Now, Egyptologists believe they were used as full coffins. But some researchers argue that they were actually ancient battery boxes. There was even footage captured in 2011 of a large copper wire inside one of these chambers.
And some interpret the hieroglyphics on the walls as wiring diagrams, which further supports the idea of the pyramids as some kind of power plant. It's definitely an intriguing theory.
It really is. And Tesla himself was fascinated by the Great Pyramid and its potential for harnessing energy. He even built his own electromagnetic pyramid, Wardenclyffe Tower, designed to tap into Earth's resonance for wireless energy transmission.
A bold vision, but ultimately a failed one. Tesla's project ran out of funding, and the tower was demolished. But it does make you wonder, what if he had succeeded? What secrets might he have unlocked?
Right. What if he was onto something big? Speaking of ancient texts, let's explore what the Bible has to say about the pyramids.
There are 2 main schools of thought within this theory. One suggests that the Israelites, enslaved by the Pharaoh, were forced to build the pyramids before the Exodus.
So basically slave labor. But would forced labor really result in such high-quality craftsmanship? It seems like something that massive and intricate would require a lot of skill and dedication.
You make a good point. However, the Bible often depicts the Israelites achieving extraordinary things when they were united and guided by faith. Think King David's military victories, Daniel's wisdom, or Obed-Edom's prosperity. Perhaps, under those conditions, they could have been capable of creating something like the pyramids.
Okay, I see what you mean. But isn't there also a bit of a timeline issue? The Great Pyramid is thought to have been built around 2500 BC, while the Exodus is believed to have occurred much later, around 1400 BC.
That's a key point of contention, and a topic of ongoing debate among researchers. Some, like Graham Hancock, believe the pyramids are much older than current estimates suggest. Others argue that carbon dating methods used in the past, like those from 1984, may have been inaccurate, potentially placing the construction even later. And we know that the Egyptians reused materials, so dating based on wood or other components could be misleading.
It's like a giant historical puzzle with missing pieces. Okay, so what about the second biblical theory, the one about Joseph? I'm really curious to hear more about this one.
This theory is fascinating because it suggests a more practical purpose for the pyramids. It proposes that Joseph, the biblical figure known for his wisdom and administrative skills, orchestrated their construction not as tombs, but as massive grain storage facilities.
I remember when Ben Carson, the American politician, brought this theory up, it definitely sparked some controversy. But I'm open to exploring it. What kind of evidence is there to support this idea?
Well, Ron Wyatt, an amateur archaeologist, discovered something pretty interesting at the Saqqara complex. He found 11 large pits containing traces of grain and connected by chutes. This suggests a sophisticated system for storing vast quantities of food, which could support the idea of the pyramids as granaries.
So maybe those massive structures weren't just elaborate tombs after all. I also read that Wyatt even built replica machinery based on hieroglyphics and ancient timber handles, offering a potential glimpse into how the pyramids might have been constructed.
It's thought-provoking, to say the least. And it leads us to another intriguing point mentioned in the video. The Egyptian stela that recounts a 7-year famine and a wise young man who helped Egypt survive.
That does sound familiar. It's like the biblical story of Joseph, isn't it?
Exactly. According to the stela, a gifted individual named Imhotep used his wisdom and skills to overcome this devastating famine and rose to become the pharaoh's chief advisor. He was known for his architectural genius, astronomical knowledge, and even his skill as a dream interpreter and a physician.
Wait a minute. Imhotep, the architect, astronomer, dream interpreter, physician. It's like they're describing Joseph from the Bible.
The parallels are striking. Imhotep even designed and built the step pyramid at Saqqara, which was the largest structure in the world at that time, a testament to his remarkable abilities.
This is blowing my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
Could Imhotep and Joseph actually be the same person?
It's a question that has intrigued historians and researchers for years. Think about it. Both figures were known for their wisdom, problem-solving abilities, and their rise to prominence during times of crisis. Their contributions left lasting impacts on their societies.
And the fact that both were skilled at interpreting dreams, that can't just be a coincidence, can it?
The symbolism of dreams is deeply ingrained in both ancient Egyptian and biblical traditions. It's certainly interesting to consider how those parallels might intersect in the lives of these two extraordinary individuals.
It's like we're peeling back layers of history and uncovering these hidden connections. It really makes you wonder what other secrets are waiting to be discovered in those ancient texts and monuments.
It's a reminder that history is full of mysteries and open to interpretation. We may never have all the answers, but that's part of what makes exploring the past so fascinating. The pursuit of knowledge and the willingness to consider different perspectives is crucial.
Couldn't agree more. It's all about the journey.
Right. Before we wrap up our deep dive into the pyramids, we should circle back to the main point of the YouTube video. The creator was using the pyramids as a starting point to discuss something bigger.
Right.
The video uses the pyramids and the story of Joseph as a sort of springboard to talk about faith and spirituality. It's making a connection between Joseph's life and the life of Jesus, suggesting that Joseph's experiences were almost foreshadowing events in the New Testament.
That's an insightful observation. The video highlights the symbolic connections, inviting viewers to see the possibility of divine intervention, woven through both stories. For example, both Joseph and Jesus were betrayed by people close to them, falsely accused, and ultimately rose to positions of authority.
Exactly. The video emphasizes those parallels and encourages us to consider how these ancient stories still have relevance today.
It's a thought-provoking approach. Whether or not someone agrees with the interpretation, it's a good reminder that these ancient stories still resonate with people across cultures and time.
They tap into our fundamental human desire to understand our place in the world and to grapple with questions of purpose and meaning. Exploring the mysteries of the past, like we've done today, can help illuminate our own personal journeys.
I'm definitely walking away from this deep dive with a sense of awe and wonder. These incredible structures, shrouded in mystery and speculation, make us question our assumptions and ignite our imaginations.
They remind us that we still have so much to learn about our own history and the potential that lies beyond our current understanding.
Who knows what secrets those ancient stones hold? Perhaps someday we'll unlock even more of their mysteries. But for now, let's embrace the wonder and keep exploring.
And remember, the most important discovery you can make is the one that leads you to a deeper understanding of yourself.